Here helping my neighbor fell his maple tree that's dead. We're using the tractor so it doesn't fall that way, it falls the other way. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Back up at the house site. Nice warm day. I'm going to try to clear out this tree today and see if I can take down that one with the pink ribbon. There's another one behind it. I don't know if I'll get to that because I like to drop these trees and then cut them up too. And what I'm trying to do is spread out the brush and stuff so it's not as like just piles of brush. Kind of just spread it out in the woods so it looks a little bit cleaner and stuff. What would be awesome is if we had a chipper, a wood chipper or something that we could just chip the wood and stuff. That would disperse it really nice. Next one would probably be this big pile, which is right off the front of the house to the right. Get rid of that debris there. And then there's a big one off the front of the porch right here. And that's when our friend Glenn excavated this site and pushed a lot of it just over this ravine, but I want to clean that. I've been wanting to clean that up for all the time that I'm up here building. I just hate looking at it. That it's going to look more natural if I can clean that all up down there and stuff. So just getting ready to, probably next week we'll start bringing some 2x6s up here. What we're thinking is piling them up up here, maybe binding with our tool that can cinch up the wood, and we'll leave it up here for until we start building, which could be quicker than we think. We're trying to come up with some plans to utilize our time up here and not wait for winter to be over with, and just keep at this and stuff. So yeah. All right, let's get to it. Very tedious. Just starting with the little branches, cutting through this, and then just spreading it out in the woods here. Just so we don't have big piles like that kind of look ugly from the house and stuff. And then while we're building the house, I'm figuring this will slowly rot and disintegrate into the dirt, get moss on it. Stuff grows very quickly back over in here, and there'll be shoots of new trees. There already is some, but it's kind of slow going right now. All right guys, I cleaned up as much as I could. We just dropped, there's an oak tree right here that we just dropped, and it was so rotted it actually cracked. A third of the top cracked off as we pulled it down with a rope. So it was just too crazy to try to film it, but we did get it done. A couple branches I got to cut down to make it cleared out of there, but it looks a lot better. Shannon, as you can hear, is blowing leaves down on the road, but she went around the whole house, cleaned that area. So we're getting good. A little bit more cleaning up there, but we got a lot cut. It's just slow going. And then if you can see these two trees there's two trees that are curving off. I want to drop those two. They're already leaning, old ash trees. Looks like one's maybe an oak, but we just want to get rid of them. We don't want any pressure of them falling on the house, as you can see as we start framing. So we'll get rid of those. My neighbor came up with a good idea, is get some 4x4 posts, cut them like forks, and so I'm putting those together. And then a wedge piece of wood here and here up into the, underneath the bucket here. And those two pieces of 2x4 that I'll wedge in there will keep that, and you can put all kinds of weight on it, and it'll just work against that wedge. And we're thinking of piling our 2x6s from my neighbor's barn, and maybe 2 or 3 trips instead of just constantly loading up Shannon's pickup truck and moving it, where we can I can raise that bucket right up to the pallet over here on the barn, and we're gonna give it a try and just move a bunch at a time up, and then I can lift this with the bucket right up onto the house floor, and we'll tarp it until we're ready to start framing. But that's what we're gonna try to do next. Let's see if it works. I love it when a plan comes together. The forks are working. It's gonna be slow, but we're gonna try just an initial run of this, how much we can get up there at one time. All right, guys, that's about half of them. And I think we're gonna start with that up there. All right, guys, the fork trick worked. We got about half of our 2x6s up here for framing. We'll probably start with this wall right along here, and we're just gonna make 4-foot sections, and not right away, but pretty soon I would say we can get started on this. But then we can lay them, I'm thinking somewhere up here, and cover them with another tarp. We got a lot of tarps, so we're also gonna bring this tarp up, but keep the one that's down below on here. And we might frame this whole house and then just cut the tarp out when we're done. That way it stays there and water does not go through. So that's a good idea too. And Bill, our neighbor, is the one who kind of suggested that, but I've seen that on some videos. So you'll have to see. If you don't understand, I'll show you when we're ready to start framing. But that's a good job today. All right, guys, we got one of those propane weed burners, and we've been just, not too many people can say they set fire to their driveway, but that's what we're doing. So we're keeping the hose on and walking along with it, but it's burning off all this brush, as you can see. That brush there, and it's just going up like straw. Morning, guys. It's an exciting day today. We got some of the wood up, as you saw yesterday, up on the house, and I'm trying to burn the rest of this brush, just preparing for once we start building. You don't want to stop, so you get all the little stuff out of the way. So another thing, Shannon's organizing the barn. We're going to get these tools all situated. What we usually do is we just throw everything from the RV right in here, but then we eventually, you got to organize it. I don't know if you remember last year, this is my bane right here, this table, always a thing to set stuff on. But those yellow and black bins, those are our tool bins, and we're going to organize those, see what needs to go up to the house and what can stay down here for now. And those are weather tight, so we can put them up there. We can put them in the crawl space if we have to get them out of the way here. But yeah, we're going to organize everything, and just a little bit closer to building time. Couple days of rain and I had to work, but we're back at it, trying to organize. We got much more room here. I'm gonna go and get a little bit of shelving unit, some cheapy shelving unit right here, so we can put tools and excess stuff. You can see all the stuff we have though. So what I'm doing now is organizing. These 3 bins are gonna go up to the house site. And with the lids and stuff, they usually stay dry. We put a tarp over them just for safekeeping, but then all the tools that we really need to frame will go up there. Morning guys, back at it up here. It's a nice day. We just had about 3 days of just really bad weather, rain and just wind and stuff, so it didn't do much. I worked a couple of those days, so but I'm back up here. We're trying to, I got the wood up here now, so I'm getting just antsy to start putting some walls together and stuff. I think today I'm back up here with the chainsaw. I'm gonna try to clean these 2 piles that I showed you before that are off the front of the house here. I'm standing on the porch actually, so that ravine is right down here behind me. There's 2 big piles I want to get rid of. Up here looks pretty good. There's a little bit more up on the back part of this hillside on the back part of the house that I'd like to clean up a little bit more, but I just want to get down there and start cleaning this up and just see how this looks. So that's what I'm going to get doing today. Let's get to it. Alright guys, I got that one cleaned up as you saw. Just spreading it out just makes it look better. There'll be leaves crawling all over it, and in the spring it all greens up all over here anyways, so but I just wanted to spread that out and get rid of that pile. This one I started working on right here, and I'm working my way over and getting this big thing here, a couple of scrub trees and things over there I can see that I'd like to get over. We'll see how far I get today though. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. I'm just cleaning up the rest of that brush up there. Got a couple more things to do up there and stuff, but we're getting close to starting to frame. A little minor setback that I want to touch base on is Shannon's back is back to not doing very well. She had a couple of injections over the summer that seemed to be making it help, but it didn't last very long. It just keeps coming back. I know she's active and probably should watch it a little bit more, but there's just no way of keeping her. She's so full of energy and stuff, but she's just miserable with this back thing. So I think she is going to go in for surgery, and it could be very soon. And we'll get her better over the winter, hopefully, and she'll be back in the spring and stuff to help out somewhat in the house, maybe, or whatever. Just her moral support, being around, is fine for me. We can keep moving along. It'll just be a little bit slower, but just keep her in your thoughts and stuff, that she'll be going out probably sometime next month in December for this surgery, and she'll be out for a little while. So let's just hope everything works on that, and she gets a good clean bill of health and stuff. So I'm gonna end the video here. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed, share the video with people. So and let's keep this thing going, and we're gonna start building that house pretty soon here and stuff. So all right guys, happy Thanksgiving.